introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
Y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? We are Unhinged Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Nikita Hansford, also known as your girl Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Coach Cash, in the building. And joining us tonight, oh, you already know, if you saw the brief advertisement I had shared a little bit earlier, about a half hour ago, look, the interwebs was messing with me on last night, so I wasn't able to start advertising this broadcast early. So you see, we got the tribe in the building, -1. The tribe is in the building. We got Audrey Dindy Hightower, our in-house self-care strategist, and of course, the lovely, lovely diva herself, Miss Natural D. The curls is looking fabulous as always.
Amen. Because they were looking that on 2 minutes ago.
We're going to get into that in a moment, but check it out. I want to go ahead and say thank you again for tuning in, and say thank you to every last one of our replay viewers who are going to tune in at a later date and time to enjoy the conversation we're going to be spitting out on this evening. Let me go ahead and familiarize you all with what's going to happen on tonight's show. Of course, we're going to check in individually with the ladies of the tribe, and we're going to have a minor discussion as to what happened to King AP on tonight. Of course, I'm going to give my show some love in my own personal super fan shout out on this evening. We're going to share some views from the Petty Pew. We're going to take a trip merrily down the stream. And of course, we're going to get to what's really going on and receive some nourishing encouragement from Coach Cash. And of course, I will encourage you to just be. So let me go on and circle back around and see how my kinfolk is doing on this evening. Audrey, it's been a while. And you know, I have to put you on blast, sis, since, you know, once again, you was out in these streets shaking your tail feather and entertaining the public. How are you tonight? How you been, sis?
I'm doing fabulous. And yes, I just wrapped up on a show of The Little Mermaid a week or so ago. So much fun hanging out with the young people. I was a jellyfish in the bottom of the sea. But so happy to be here with you ladies tonight. I miss you guys, and I can't wait to get started.
Listen, we miss you too, Audrey, and it's just awesome. We told you when you first stepped on stage that you done started something that you will never want to end.
Yeah,
and
clearly.
Yep, clearly, because you trying to get me to do some things that my schedule doesn't exactly allow me to do right now. But let's see what God does at the beginning of 2024. Mm-hmm. I got a seed in the ground. I'll wait for it. So
I'll water it. I hope you water it.
Yes, ma'am. I got a whole army of y'all helping me water my seed of faith. God knows what I need. He knows what I desire. And he knows, you know, I'm faithful. And he says he would honor the desires of my heart. So I'm waiting. Lady D.
Yes.
Lady D, how you doing, girl?
Listen, better when you got praying friends, okay?
I know that's
almost.
Right.
Listen, I'm doing much better. It's been a long month this week, and it's Tuesday.
Right.
But I'm also tagging on that seed in the ground because I was going to put a seed in the ground, but I think right now I'm just going to get the packet of seeds from the store first, and then open the packet when the time is right, because I don't want to do this out of season, and I feel like if I try to put my toe in, it's going to be out of season. So
sound like a word to me.
So I might be right there with you next year, Audrey.
There you go.
And there's nothing wrong with being wise enough to
Oh,
recognize
yes.
season. This is why we acknowledge you as Lady D on this evening, because baby, you be spitting hot wisdom fire like Dylon. And I'm ready for it on tonight. And I hope y'all in the listening audience are too. So check it out. She ain't never last and certainly never the least. I got to get to my home girl. Coach Cash, how you doing tonight, sis?
I'm doing okay. I am doing okay. Ready. October was full. That's what we can say for that. October was full. And as Lady D already said, Natural D, the month has been busy and it's only Tuesday. How in the world? Yeah, but this was one of those days, the temperatures are dropping here in North Carolina, and somebody told me that mean that my blood is getting a little thinner since I've been down here because I'm cold. And I was like, no, it's really cold down here this week. So we're in the 40s. And I'm not about this life. It was close to 50, but yesterday it was 85. This that pneumonia weather. They want to catch you slipping. But I always have a scarf and a sweater on hand, no matter where it be that I go, all of the things. So, we're in our 4th week of marriage.
Yes, married lady.
Body count still 0.
Body count 0. Yes, amen.
Listen.
Won't you do it?
Well, he must be doing it because listen, it is not me at all. I need you to know it ain't me. It ain't me.
God.
This is all God. So I can say I am in awe of him for what he does and does not do in all of the right season. And I'm right along with y'all, with the right place, the right time, the right season. And we gotta exercise patience, not ask for it, but we got to exercise it because we know what God does all things well, and he ain't never late.
Never, ever. Mm-hmm.
That part.
That. So then I guess I should ask, since ain't nobody ask, we gonna ask our illustrious host, queen of the Tilted Halo Broadcast Media Entertainment. We got to ask. Did the aliens get you, Tyrone? Is that you?
Child, they tried to get me on the mothership, but I had to go make them donuts. So, I gave a good fight. I was an all-timer, drove down the highway and made it to my workspace on time and was actually, a bundle of joy from my coworkers. You all know that I love to be a bursting joy tsunami, and it did my heart extremely well to see the division director just straight bust a gut when I came running through her office screaming help with my little alien legs flailing through the air. I was grateful that I took and seize the opportunity today to counteract what many of us know in our faith belief system to be a dark day. For certain celebrations to be happening, Halloween historically, y'all know, All Hallows Eve, and a lot of stuff, witchy stuff goes on this evening. And y'all know I thrive in my absolute uniqueness. My unit mates all wanted to wear witch hats, because we do themes, right? And I had to let them know, since I'm new to the unit, how firmly I stand on my faith. I said, listen, I don't dress in no witchy stuff. I don't play with the spirit world because that thing is real. I've seen some things. I've experienced some things, and that's something I'm not fitting to play with today because I'm that power right now. We yield that to God. So what I can do is bring you joy in my own way. And mission was accomplished on today. I had one young lady who every time she saw me, she told me, she said, I cannot help but laugh every time I see you in that costume. And I almost wore it tonight, but I didn't want y'all cackling through the conversation on tonight because y'all know I'm strange. And that getup was actually a gift to me. I did not purchase that. All right. No, not at all. But it was a gift to me after a conversation I had with a longtime friend, and they heard my heart concerning this day. And they made sure, again, I fulfilled my divine assignment as a joy carrier. Y'all know I'm about that joyful life. Y'all know I'm about that joyful life. So check it out. It's a joy and a pleasure to sit here with you ladies on tonight. And of course, I got to ask Coach Cash, run me that drum roll, because I got to get into this super fan shout out real quick.
We getting there. All right, drum roll.
So tonight's super fan shout out goes to the goddess herself, Marisol Martinez Colon. Clap it up for her, the goddess. Listen, I refer to her as a goddess because I initially made her a point.
We gotta get them in there.
No, we gotta get them in, girl. We got some things to use. I know that's right. So check it out. I initially made her acquaintance prior to the pandemic shut everything down here in the Lehigh Valley at the 40 Plus Goddess Fashion Show that was held in Bethlehem at the Arts Quest Center. I was a member of the audience at that time, and she is part of the team that spearheads showcasing women who are not simply just a size 2. She put the curvy girls on the runway along with her team. She put the women who are still fabulous and fine after 40 dead center as the feature of that particular showcase. And it was an amazing event. You know, our co-pastor was sitting in the audience with us that day and spoke something to me and said, girl, you know you need to be up there. And I was like, I gotta wait for my season. But back to Marisol. Marisol is a trailblazer in her own right. She is a woman of God. Can I tell you, she got a group out here on Facebook. If you need to tap in to a diverse group of women who will cover you and intercede for you, you need to get in contact with Marisol. Not only is she fabulous over 40, she is faithful. And not only is she faithful, she is powerful. I've seen her walk. I see her circle. And Marisol, all of this love right now that we are giving is just for you because you are absolutely deserving. We had our inbox conversation and you let me know how much you enjoyed the show. And I got the opportunity to let you know that I've been your fan for a long time. And here we were loving each other's work and didn't even know it. So this love's for you on tonight, sister girl. Keep doing what you're doing. I look forward to hosting a conversation with you here on the platform in the near future because I know you got something up your sleeve that we need to talk about. So if Marisol ain't in here, go get her, tell her to come on and get her love shower, okay? So we're going to move this ship right on along. Is that okay, ladies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So look, I done gave up love. Now you know I got to act up because attendance officer Cash. Look.
I only take attendance once a month because that's just how we roll here. Because you know, all of us are in different places in different times. You know, we gonna start with a moment of silence and prayer as we think on the King AP this evening. All right, now we got that out the way. He know that he prayed for and thought of. Now listen.
Oh, bless God.
Tilted. I got questions about
yes.
what had happened to King AP. I got questions. I'm gonna leave it there.
Lady D.
I'm gonna just start off the conversation by saying it's real convenient because he just celebrated his wife's birthday. So were they out there shaking the tail feather out here? Because once again, he always caught up with his wife.
Hold on. Let me check the attendance record because you know when them two get together.
When they get together.
We're not blaming the queen. We just say it
because we love the queen.
Because the last time I think it was an anniversary, and then they, you know, they were sick and the kids was okay in the house. I'm just checking the attendance record. Let the record show that when them two get together, people be calling off. I'm not implying nothing, and I'm not adding nothing to it. But the attendance records show when they show out, it be days off. That's all I know. Okay,
The recovery time don't be right.
I'm just. That's all I got to say on that. That's all I got to say.
You got any intel on this situation?
Me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Audrey. Yes, you.
I do, because it's also Halloween. And you know how AP like his sneakers. So I think that he was out looking for a Halloween costume that looked like a big Nike sneaker.
Like, hey.
And he's still looking for it. That's what I think.
That's a good round. That's good. That's a good number 2. I'm gonna tell you. That's
you know,
he does. He does.
And his Nike. He's looking for a Halloween costume that looked like a Nike sneaker.
He gonna rap, stomping through the streets as an Air Force One or something.
He's stomping all right.
Honestly, if he's not Moses, he gonna be an Air Force One. So them the only 2 options that he's gonna go with out in the street. I totally agree with that, Audrey.
There you go. There you go.
Well, y'all know he did take the opportunity to submit a note to us to inform us that he has a particular ailment on this evening, to the point where he made sure that we were aware that he limped across the pulpit to lead worship this past
in the sneaker.
He limped across the pulpit. And I had to, thank God for my area of professionalism. I have certain accesses, and baby, y'all know I got up in his chart, right? I have this is going on. This is what's going on with Aaron Wood on this evening.
You're gonna do
Check it out.
Oh no, not the toe, not the big toe.
He got that. I'm gonna get you, sucker toe. He got it. It's pulsating. It's hurting him. He got his medication today. Lord. Listen. This
is a straight screenshot right now. I don't know what to tell you.
This is a real life photograph of AP's I'm gonna get you, sucker toe. Now we understand that he has a position as a herald in the Lord's church. Y'all going to intercede for this man's toe, okay? Intercede, please. Intercede.
We started with a moment of silence and prayer, so we prayed for the toe. AP, come save yourself. That's all I got to Save yourself. Save yourself. I got nothing. Okay,
y'all going to continue to keep our brother covered in prayer. He's doing so many amazing things, and rest is in order. We always talk self-care. So we appreciate you, AP, and I hope you got some chuckles off of how we just did you, bruh. All right. Get well soon. All right. So anybody got anything else to add? Any particular at-home remedies that might help with the gout situation?
For the toe?
And Epsom salt and maybe separate rooms, so nobody don't get no toes don't get stubbed by mistake. That's all I got. No. Get the pillows. You need the big pillows under. Lift something up. I ain't really sure. This ain't my forte.
Yeah, but Lord, that's the prayer right there, though, Karen. That's the prayer. You just
okay,
Lord, please do not let AP stub his toe. That's it.
That's the entire prayer. That's it. Don't let him stub his toe, because that one looked like if it gets stubbed from the record that you had showed, child, it might take out all of New York. So we gonna pray for his toe and New York. Yeah, you say all of Harlem gonna be gone because he done stubbed his toe. So we yet praying, brother. Yeah, praying.
We praying for you, sir. We love you so much. And shout out to your beautiful wife, Toya. Hey, girl, Thank you so much for lending your husband to in so many ways to the world. The two of you together are a collective gift, and we love you so much.
Yes.
So yeah. So check it out. We're gonna move it along because I'm excited about the conversation we are going to have on this evening. I got to move it on down. Pick up my remote control. Let me make sure the battery is working because it's been a long time. Y'all know, as Karen said at the top of the show, October was full, and I promise you, Karen, I took a 3-week nap in between work.
You deserved it.
Girl, I'm just now getting back to myself. So check it out. I'm ready. All right. It's time to point your remote control at the TV screen. Merrily, 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 merrily. Find something to stream or listen to via audiobook. Yeah, I added that in there. So now we're at the part of the show where we get to discuss some of the things we may have been listening to or viewing through one of these streaming mechanisms that we pay for monthly. I know I'm a huge movie buff, and I recently was connected with Alonzo Heron Jr. of the Royal Family Film Production Company. And I've been kind of enjoying his body of work. Some of you who are active in our Facebook group may have noticed that I recently shared some encouraging words that he was sharing via a video, basically speaking and manifesting what he plans to do in the year 2024 right here in New Jersey. He actually produces movies, and two of them that I watched earlier. I'm not finished with The King of Newark yet, but I started and I completed Fearless 2 and The Fearless 3, where he has played the main character who's actually a master martial artist. The storylines are absolutely amazing. And I had an initial follow-up conversation with him. And I said, young man, do I need to call you the Karate Kid of the community? I mean, listen, I was very inspired after watching the work that he's been doing with his team. And yes, I did drop the name of two of the movies that he has produced, The Fearless 2 and The Fearless 3. Both can be viewed absolutely free on Tubi. So if y'all ain't got nothing to do, listen, let me tell you something. We thriving and surviving over there on Tubi. Forget what you heard. Every B movie is not a bad movie, and I'm having a whole lot of fun. So let me go ahead and toss the mic. I want to go ahead and toss the mic to Coach Cash. Have you had time to watch anything? Because you've been hopping flights.
In between naps and all of the things. Wait, I can't remember what I watched on the movie. I watched on the airplane. I watched something going from East Coast to West Coast. I'm still in recovery from that. But so one of the things that my husband usually says, and he is like, I'm not a binge TV watcher, and then here we go binging television shows after he say no, it ain't him. But that's all I got to say. I ain't naming no names, but we get caught up. So I don't recall giving a review of this, but we moseyed on over to one of the streaming things and watched The Burial with Jamie Foxx and Tommy Lee Jones. And not only was it a good movie, but it had a lot of good points in it. You know how sometimes we just get used to regular storylines and it's like, maybe it'll move you, maybe it won't. But couple of things that I gotta say that really was a big thing to me. It was a movie where they talked about racism. They talked about how the justice system sometimes uses the racial impropriety against the folks who who are already the downtrodden, already that way. So the moral of the story was they had the Tommy Lee Jones had a funeral home, and they had somebody come in with more money who tried to bamboozle him, and Tommy Lee just wanted to leave something for his children. He wanted to leave a legacy. Y'all know I was in it at that point. But Jamie played an actual real life, so his character, this had really happened, so it was, what did they say, based on true events type situation. And it was funny, it was good. I actually enjoyed that in this movie they kept it to the story, so it wasn't any like extramarital affairs, or it wasn't any like, I'm stepping out on my wife. They even had one scene where the wife was like, yeah, I knew that you was going through, so I decided I'd pick up all my stuff. Well, they had a family jet, so that's a whole nother story. So she just flew in on a family jet, and I was like, boo, I want one of them. I had said to the husband, I would like one of them. That would help with the back and forth having to go see the grandchildren and whatnot. I don't speak amiss. I don't speak amiss. I know what I was saying, but really good movie. They brought out a lot of good points, a lot of historical things that we probably didn't even think about. And one of the challenges, and this is like a real life thing, we've been talking finances. We usually do before we get to the beginning of the new year. And it was about people paying for like burial insurances. Y'all remember back in the day, they used to come to your house and you would give them $5 a week. Well, this particular company wound up having these people pay all of this money. And then when it came time to bury their loved ones, not only did they bury them on top of like other burial grounds, but the policy themselves that they had was like worth dirt. They didn't have anything when they thought that they were paying into something. So it really just reminds us, check the fine print. They played some Tony, and one of the signature scenes, Tommy Lee Jones started singing the "It Feels Good." Y'all know that jam, Tony jam. And it made me chuckle. So I enjoyed it. Yeah, go over there and go ahead and watch that. I'm sure I've been some other stuff, but I don't remember right now because again, I started off telling y'all I was cold, and after that, I don't remember nothing else. So
life be life, and I absolutely get it. I did take the time to watch that as well. And I remember, just like you mentioned, brothers coming to the house dressed really nice, with briefcase, selling them policies. And I really appreciated that at the end of that movie. Well, I'm not going to spoil it. Check it out. I'm going to toss this mic on over to Natural D. What's good? What you been watching?
So I've been over here in the social media streets, and Fashion Month has just finished, and so now I'm getting to watch all the vlogs and things of the fashion girlies and their escapades in New York and Copenhagen and Paris and Milan and wherever. So I'm in my fashion vlog watching season right now.
Okay. Well, is there anything that's trending that we need to know about so we can update our wardrobes?
Well, Karen is wearing one. Red is the season of the color of the season. So that's definitely one piece. And yeah, that's the main one right now that they're all doing is the red, and shades and stuff are always in season. Apparently skinny leg is out, skinny jeans are out. Well, who knows? Where whatever works for you.
Y'all send that memo to the depths of the heart of the urban communities to let these young brothers know that the season has ended from them wearing their little brothers and their little cousins' clothes.
First of all, they should let that
Wait, I gotta insert a hand clap here.
Please. Now do that again because it wasn't long enough. We need more clappage.
Oh, okay, we need more clappage. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Father. All right. Audrey, what have you been watching, sis?
So before I go through that, Donnell, when you talked about the fashion, I was watching some of the photos also from Fashion Week or wherever they were located, but I noticed that the style in general is just so unstructured. Like I watched this one video of full-figured women, and they were walking the catwalk with like fabric held together with safety pins, and like the skin is hanging out. I was like, what is happening? It's just unstructured. I feel like style in general is just unstructured, right? Whereas, years ago, everything was very fitted, very fun, but now it just seems like the style is going towards more being unstructured and less fitted. Did you find that?
It's definitely a baggier style. It depends on the designer. So there are some it's more flowy, and it's not as structured, if you will. But I don't know about the safety pin part, but everybody. But I wanted to mention too, though. Shout out to all the Black designers that are out here. Sergio Hudson did his thing, had his thing going on in New York, and shout out to his styling that he's doing with Keke Palmer. I absolutely love what he's doing with her. And then also, if you don't know the brand Hanifa, she just branched out to wedding, so to bridal. So if you're looking for a Black-owned designer, Hanifa.
Okay, awesome. So I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks over the summer. At my job, there's a D&I club. We have a book club. And so every month we read a book, and none of these books are books that I would have ever chosen, even knew existed. Some of them have films. So I've been listening to those. And my sister tagged me and got me hooked on watching Married at First Sight. So I had never watched Married at First Sight before. And I watched the 2 seasons that are on Netflix. And there was this one particular season where, if you have, I don't know if you guys watched Married at First Sight, but there's this one season that has a couple, and the woman in the couple is a Christian. And it really, really got my sister, that's what kind of nudged her to get me to watch, because her and I have had conversations around being in relationships and how sometimes our faith can keep us in relationships that we otherwise would not be in. And so this season of Married at First Sight really kind of highlighted that with this young lady's relationship. And you get married, you don't know this person. This person is technically a stranger, even though you're married to them. And she really stepped into that relationship like it was the vows, and she honored her husband before God, and she really, really made some choices that's all I'm going to say. But it was really, really good. Really, really good.
So
please tell me more.
Listen, I'm trying to remember, because when we watched, and the Natural D, I remember us watching during the time when it was airing, that one couple, and I never watched again because I really wanted to lay hands on the husband in a way that would not be appropriate. I think God I think God would have approved a couple of smacks upside the head that
listen. And not for nothing, the way he was talking to his own pastor at the time, I was like, you tread lightly, man, supposed man of God.
I love it because a Black pastor, they come from somewhere. They didn't just jump out the Bible with Moses in them. So you only got but so much leeway when you talking sideways to the African of American descent pastors before they be like, all right, hold on, somebody hold. What's
he was full blown narcissist. I mean,
that's the one. Ain't no other one. That's the one.
Everything. And when my sister and I were having the conversation, and I said to her, she was like, well, she should have gotten out of it. I said, listen, that young woman needed some kind of counseling or therapy prior to going into that show, because she just kept going and kept allowing herself to be used in a certain way. And I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, I don't have those kind of patience.
You know, I always blame the aunties, because y'all know it's our aunties that would be like, oh, you gonna wear that outside? Like, you well, come here, baby. Like, no, here, put this sweater on with that. Here, put this, you gonna wear that short dress? Put this on, put these leggings on with that. Like, so I'm like, if we could just get some real aunties out here in these streets. These are they millennials? What generation are they? I don't know which one. I'm just putting words out there. But whatever generation it is, they would just think differently, because life be life and differently for them. And I that was the first and last time, and I only watched because it was a Black couple. And
they all have Black couples, I think. Well, I've watched 3 seasons.
They do, but if I see that again, we're going to ride out. Mona Scott, she know where to find them. I'm gonna go to her house first, and she gonna direct me where these Married at First Sight people are, because they got the Black therapist. That's it. Well, actually, I think they had 2, but the man therapist that's there, which he is well renowned in his field, and I have so much respect for him. It just is something about, why would anyone allow, first of all, any woman of any background, you ain't got to be Black to not do this. Like, any woman of any background, who all talk to these women that was like, this is a good idea.
Well, you mean to go on the show?
Yeah, to go on the show.
You know what I like? You know what I do like about the show? I like the fact that they do have therapists, right? That talk to them throughout, right? So I mean, think about. I mean, now you newly got married, but I'm divorced. But I'm thinking, wow, if I had the value of a therapist like early in my marriage, like, who knows where it would be? It may end up.
We have therapists. I need you to know we are about that life.
Yes.
I agree with you on that. I think that a lot of times there's just, I promise you, it's something gonna come out of this. God already know, with marriage and the whole church culture. We just we knocking ourselves upside the head the wrong way. And
we here.
That's
it. Talk about this thing tonight.
Listen, okay, well then let's get right in. Y'all know I'm always ready.
I got to roll up my sleeves. Listen, we ready.
Here we go.
Because there is so much going on. There are so many different conversations going out here in these internet streets, in referencing the conflicting church culture and life like it be life and culture. And you said something very critical as you brought the conversation about what is it? The name of the show, Married at First Sight. And you made mention of the woman who held so firmly to her Christian values, her indoctrinated values, that it sounds like to me she suffered a lot of abuse. And just took it because of what her particular church culture raised her to believe, if that makes any sense.
So did you see the
we need to tap on that thing.
Did you see it, Nikita? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. I'm just very discerning from what I hear. Y'all know I hear between the lines.
So think about this. Think about this for a minute. This is the first thing that had me going. In the show, you meet someone for the first time and you marry them. You see them for the first time at the altar, right? You don't know anything about it.
I've seen like pieces of it, but it's not something I've invested a whole lot of time in.
Right. So she sees him, she meets him at the altar, whatever, but they get intimate that night because it's her husband. This is my husband. We made a vow before God. This is my husband. Meanwhile, he was manipulating her.
He played on that. He played on it, and
he used it like a tool. He absolutely used it. He knew it and he used it.
He did. And you know, when I say how many of us are still single, but how many of us are still married? Like it's a lot, like on each side. We're in the wrong relationships because of wrong doctrination. We're saying no to the right relationships because of wrong doctrination. Where we got people saying, get somebody already put together, when they was able to get Tyrone, pick him up at the penitentiary and then let him get saved and baptized, and now he the deacon, the pastor, and senior something at the church. But it didn't start the way that they indoctrinating people. So in my first month of marriage, this has this much to do with my husband and this much to do with me unindoctrinating myself for all of the things that I have been believing, told, sprinkled around regarding marriage, like unlocking everything. Nope, that ain't gonna work here. That ain't gonna work here. Oh wait, where did this come from? Nope, that ain't gonna work either. Oh, you know what?
Let me ask you, Karen. So while you are relearning, right, how to be a partner and relearning how to make room for your husband, right, and how to come together. It's not easy. Two different people, and now you're older, right, coming together. So is it the counseling that's helping you?
Yes, and prayer. When I tell you this is a God thing, like I met him more than 2 years ago. And we just had this conversation because I really was like, I really believe we got married at the right time. Like, this is the right time. Because before this month, that's all I'm going to say. Before this exact month, one of us wouldn't have made it out alive. But he said to me, I said, I know when you met me, you were ready in like a couple of months. He was like 6 weeks. He was ready. And I literally said to him, sir, we're not getting married in this year at all. So let me just take this whole year off your calendar because you thinking somewhere ahead. But it put me in the mind of the difference of women, grown adult women and adult men. Adult men, all that, it took him 10 years. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. A dude gonna know. And when people used to say that to me, I believed it. Now, whether that gentleman can act on it in the moment that he knows is different, but he's going to make his intention sure. And as sure as I know what my name is today, I lived that. And so I do believe that we had therapy beforehand. And it wasn't marital therapy. Like we had to sit down with our pastor, but we both have individual therapists. And then we come together and have collective sessions as well. So part of it was we were sure in the people that we were and who we were bringing into this. Because I said it took me 2.5 years to learn how to stay. I'm a track star. You what? Oh, look, you slobbering. Okay, I got the You chew too loud. Wait, can you breathe? Wait a minute. Just don't breathe because you make a noise when you breathe. Like, I needed to get used to those things. And guess what? He did too. He just didn't know it. It was just like, this is the thing. This is my goal. We are both very goal oriented. So once that 6 week is like, oh, she fine. Listen, she smell good. I think by then I had cooked something. He like, and I ain't gonna starve. Let's get this popping. I'm like, sir, you don't know nothing about me. The level of crazy that you about to experience, you need to prepare for it. And now we both understand that, and we had to come into, and it wasn't just a therapist. We had to talk to the estate planner. We had to talk to the legal people. We had to, I make no secret that we have a prenup agreement because that was a part of, we are adults. And how do we adult? Now, my gripe is I would have liked to go to the church and talk to somebody about these things, but not a lot of people there had information. Like I could have conversations with Keita and she in the church, but I'm talking about if we are actually saying we're preparing our singles to be married, these are the conversations, and it's to secure the bag. How do you secure the bag that you got? So you went and you secured the bag, and then you get into a relationship, and we knew October 8th, everything that he and I own, now we both had 50% at least stock in it. So if I want to do something different, I no longer can. We here in North Carolina. I know what it is. I know what it is. And so we had all of the additional professionals, and we didn't do it by ourselves. And so now we 4 weeks in and we experts. Stay tuned. I don't know nothing.
Yes,
That's all I know. That is all I know is that the more that we dig into this, it's like you respect the people who either, not just because you're in a marriage for 30, 40 years, but if you could not continue with whatever you couldn't continue with, whatever that thing was to say, all right, I'm gonna head out. It was a 90% of the time, it was a serious thing, because sharing your life with somebody, this is not, I'm going to pick up a new set of hair at the beauty shop. That ain't what this is. And so respect for folks who are on both sides. And for those folks who made the decision, I'm not doing this again, or I'm just not doing it. If you want to be single and you out there, like, you gotta figure out how you're gonna work it out, and there's something for everybody. But good question. Just them people over there, I don't know. I'm not watching that show no more.
So
what's up, D?
So my first point, funny enough, there is a couple in that season though that walk that out, and they are doing well today. Mm-hmm. So you had the juxtaposition of both, right. And they were a minority couple as well. So you saw them work out their issues. You saw them take it seriously, even though the producers tried to make it act like they had drama, and in the end, they really didn't.
Right.
But against that couple who was a whole hot mess and didn't take any advice from the experts, if because homeboy was missing in action most of the season. So then there's that. But then my other question that comes to mind now, Karen, since you brought up that you had, your counselors, you had the estate planners, you had all of this. Do you think singles ministries at churches should actually be run by one of those professionals, and not just somebody because they're single or because you think they're married?
Absolutely. I think every profession is represented on the married side as well as the single side. So it should be, I don't know what we gonna call it, because we gonna do it here. We bringing it to y'all, just so y'all know. We don't talk about this stuff and not be real about it. So whether you find it at the church or you find it at the Tilted Halo Church of Missionary we bring it by faith, because the thing is that we talk about and I say this all the time, so it's not, I'm not talking behind his back, but he and I have different relationships with money. We have different relationships with credit. We got different, and so the molding is, listen, I'm Linda's daughter. We swiping plastic and I'm not even thinking about it. He's like, man, we need to have a plan before. Who say what now? What'd you say? I can't hear you. We were swiping over here. But to learn that it's not a right or wrong, it's about what fits for our personal aspirations. So if I'm talking one thing and I'm doing something else, and a lot of times men, it's just a different relationship. It could be all men and all women. Every person has a different relationship with money, and it depends on your background, your upbringing, whether you have experienced seasons of lack, because some of us have experienced seasons of lack and we don't know how to grasp onto a growth mindset. And then there are others of us that have grasped onto the growth mindset, and it's like, if it look broke, we ain't going over there. So how do you balance that and get into the middle of it? But yeah, I agree. We got to throw away that whole, the leaders is just because you're single. You got to be, in my opinion, you should be single And it should be two people. It should be somebody who is single and has made the decision that they're going to stay that way, and then also somebody who is single in pursuit or looking to be pursued, because this road is different depending on which side of the fence you want to be on. And you could come over, if you like, listen, give me 2 years. I need to be over here, and I don't care nothing about y'all. About to be married ministry. They all crazy. But you might get somewhere and then say, you know what? I changed my mind. He cute enough. He treat me nice enough. She's fair. She somewhere in the middle. However we do it. But I agree with you on that. It should be the professionals. Life just is different when you allow professional people around you who actually know what they're talking about. They're not talking from a place of generational indoctrination, but they're talking from a place of what will work right now. And I know that is helping to sustain us. Plus, y'all know, I will pray at the drop of a dime. We're in the middle like, dear Lord, I'm about to cuss this man out that you done sent me, and I need. Okay, this is a real prayer. Never mind. But I'm in it.
But Karen, that's important. I think.
Yes.
You need, like you said, and you saw, Donnell, you need different perspectives, right? Like here I am, a married person who is now single, newly single, right? And so I've done the married thing, went through the whole, coming together, being as one, which you never really come together and be as one. But it's just like you said, you and your husband have different relationships with money. That's important for single people to hear, because maybe in some churches or some, Christian environments or religious environments, they may be teaching that you always got to be together. You got to come together and you got to be as one, and you always got to have this, you have the same mindset. And that's not real. It's just not reality, right?
That's
it's just not
at all.
It's not.
Y'all know I got a story to share. I don't even care. Check it out. My testimony is that of getting information about who I needed to marry and when I needed to get married and why I needed to get married when I did back in the day, came from someone who I love very dearly. And at that point in my life's journey, y'all know my background. I was a foster kid, went through some things. The Lord found me, picked me up, cleaned me up, gave me a renewed mind. But this was the beginning of my journey of really trying to walk it out and be consistent with how I lived out my faith. So this person in my family told me, girl, because at that time I was 17 years old, single mother with a baby. And she had the slave mindset. I refer to it as post-traumatic slave disorder in the mind. It comes from the impoverishedness that comes through my family generationally. It's a mindset that was passed on to me when it was said, you might as well go ahead and marry him, because you ain't going to find another man that's going to marry you with no child. Uh-huh. So here I was with my 19-year-old self, finding myself, I done caught the eye of this fine young brother in the church. He in the church. And, he checked that off of my list, because I always knew I was supposed to be connected to a man of God. So here we are in the church. I don't know his relationship with money. And I'm certain all of you have heard it. It's better to marry than to burn. Uh-huh. So what happens, I was part of the Church of God in Christ at that time. And, the person I took this advisement from was of the apostolic sect of the faith. So they sent me into a marriage at 21 years old with nothing but my Bible and my belief that I could learn to love anyone. I just needed to be married so I would not burn for practicing any further lustful behaviors that might produce seed upon the face of this earth. So here I am. I learned to love when I actually said I do. I promise y'all, the Holy Spirit told me to walk away at that time. But I stayed there because I was already thinking with a covenant mindset with this man.
Yep.
I'm going to marry him because God witnesses here. And I don't want to embarrass the man of God. I didn't want to embarrass him, so I became his wife, and I bore his seed, and I ran a household, but things were very imbalanced, and it did me a lot of emotional harm, which is why I have made the choice to remain single, to make sure that I've addressed every piece of the stone from that experience of my life that has erected itself. I'm looking at it because those things have to be chiseled away. Sometimes we have to be honest in our womanhood to say, I'm not all right. And I'm the problem. It's me. It's not always brother trying to, you know, pursue us. That's the problem. If we take the time and sit prayerfully in the presence of the God, these things will begin to manifest and bubble and come back to our remembrance. And that's in those moments when, oh God, this is why I do this the way I do it now. But this is out of alignment with what your will is for me. Help me change. Help me. Show me me. Show me me. So that when my next Boaz comes, I am ready for everything he's bringing to the table. That's why y'all don't know if I'm single. Heck, I don't know if I'm single or not, because I'm absolutely intentional about my time at this stage in my life's journey. I'm so
that's important.
Oh Lord.
When my marriage ended, and I was married almost 30 years. And when my marriage ended, as much as everything inside of me wanted to blame him 100% for everything, it's just not right? It's just not practical. It just doesn't make sense.
It's not the truth.
So it's not. So I went to therapy, right? So that I can see myself, right? So I can see, okay, what is my part? What did I do to contribute to my marriage ending, right? And so I can fix myself and be whole and do all the emotional healing and everything I need to do so that I don't bring this into my next relationship. Because that's what ends up happening, right? We in these relationships, we don't take the time to heal. We don't, because we just want to blame, it's his fault. You know, I'm great, I'm wonderful, I just did everything right, and he's just a jerk, and let me just go on and find somebody else.
And then you find yourself repeating the cycle. And I know for sure that even in my singleness, I was doing that. And I remember that movie with Julia Roberts, I think it was like Eat, Pray, Love. And it was like, she finally found that person and she could not, like, she was laughing hysterically because she was like, I dated you already. I know how this ends. Like, I know everything about this here. And then there comes a moment, I think, where you do, if you're ready to be reflective, you have to give yourself grace to take the time to get to know you. And that means that you can't jump from bed to bed. You can't jump from relationship to relationship. You can't jump from, I was a wife and now I'm going to be a mistress. Listen, whatever equation, it requires some portion of separation. And if you're trying to do it with somebody sitting by you, just know that it's going to be hard for them while you uncover ask yourself the question. And it's an easy and difficult question at the same time. What is wrong with me? And I'm not saying what's wrong with me for you to find flaws or imperfections, but what are those things that you keep in the way? And they might be stumbling blocks, but they also might be boundaries and walls that you set. And I know, we were supposed to be in Merrily Downstream, but I feel like we in our what's really going on. Like, certain people, they like, you're not going to take me nowhere to eat, and you're not going to listen. I tell y'all the story about how we met. We had our first date at Cracker Barrel because I was being strategic because we had met online. And Cracker Barrel, you could say, I'm going to the bathroom and never come back. And it didn't matter. So, I was like, Cracker Barrel sound good to me because I know all the exits. And I know how to get out of there. I also know how to get on the other side of the wall if we need to go over there and grab one of them fire logs okay, never mind. Maybe that ain't your testimony. With me and Tyrone at the house and he gonna come pick you up. I'm not about that life. So you got to figure out what you are capable of doing and then take your time. Like, we had so many people, Audrey, when I tell you how many people is like, what? Y'all ain't married yet? Wait a minute. What is y'all doing? It took all this time.
No.
Yeah.
Your union, Karen, has been an entire ministry to me. That's where you hear me gushing and telling you I'm absolutely humbled and honored to have been by your side through this journey of the two of you coming together, because I watched how grown folks get married. I watched how grown folks absolutely keep it real in the coming together process. You know, we joke and we laugh. You know, you need somebody that you can cuss out and he'll still love you tomorrow. You know, but check it out. It gave me like hope. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me recognize that there's absolutely nothing wrong with me, and me waiting for someone who is compatible for the space I'm in at this journey, at this point in my life's journey. Audrey, you know, I'm going to segue there. You asked the question off air. What is the youngest? What's the youngest age I would actually date? And I didn't even give you a number. The first thing out my mouth was I can't deal with immaturity. That's on any age level. I can't.
Exactly.
I can't. So that has a lot to do with my thought process when I decide to entertain the conversation of a gentleman. If I see a whole lot of immature characteristics around you, even before you open your mouth, I'm not even going to entertain you for 5 seconds, if that long. You know, and when I say immature behaviors on display around you before you even open your mouth, I'm 52 years old. How I spend my money matters. Now, if I see you 52 and up, and when I talk to you, the main part of your conversation is the label on your belt or on your back, sir, I'm gonna need you to move merrily along, unless your financial status, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I need you to move on. So financial status can really afford you the opportunity to wear these other people names and advertise for them and make them more money. You know, listen, your budget can accommodate it, by all means, boo-boo, do you. But I am going to question you because, you know, I'm a September girl. You know, Virgo to be exact, you know.
Be exact.
I want to know at this point, when I start dating, dude, you got life insurance? And while we're dating, and as we say we're committed to one another, I absolutely believe it's appropriate to get life insurance on somebody you're dating. See, what is your mindset about investing? And many of us in our communities weren't exposed to the information on how to purchase stock and stock options and invest for the long term and short term and all that other good stuff concerning finances. But are you even open to trying to implement some of the things you weren't taught as a child? See, one thing that I've learned living in such a rural area and asking, you know, some of my plantee friends on how to effectively grow a plant is you really need to be okay with growth, no matter how old you are, as iron sharpens iron. Listen, I'm going to use Karen and Alfred as an example. That's titanium sharpened titanium over there. That's not the couple you want to play with. Let me point this way. I got the point. There we go. That's not the couple y'all want to play with right now. That's not them. On my screen, I'm pointing at you, Karen. I don't know what way I'm pointing at. You pointing at me.
Right. You're right. I'm in that and Brady Bunch box. And you know the thing that I'll mention there, you said something that is very important, and it is, are they open to the conversation? Because I promise you, you know, I'm putting my sister on blast. She out here in these dating streets, and I'm like, now remember, this is not add water and stir. Certain perspectives about life you're gonna bring to the table because they've never had an example of big saving. Like they might have had an example of big spending. They've never had an example. Maybe they didn't have an example of big investing. Like my husband is big discipline, and God bless him. But I glean from him. It's like, wait, we supposed to do what? I don't feel that in my spirit. Let me, you know, and listen, I'll pray about it because I'll be like, dear Lord, this man that you sent is over here talking about something. What I'm supposed to do with that? But knowing that when you both are coming in there should be something that person, you know, in the words of our evangelist Sister Lettucey, how you gonna add to me? Like, and I know that sound crazy. Sometimes it's not the money, because in a lot of our worlds, there are a lot of women who out salary the dudes, but it is about your posture. When you, no matter where your salary comes in at, it's also about, like, literally, we have to sit and wait differently. So if you looking for fly by night relationships, that's all you're gonna ever have. But if you got patience, and when I say I had to learn how to take off my shoe, untie it, not be ready to bolt as soon as it be like, what? That don't even sound right. Let me get up on out of here. Sometimes you got to give things in. Like he and I had that conversation. Listen to me. When you tell me something, it's a process. I'm never going to do it immediately. So if you're looking for that, that's between you and Jesus. He parted that Red Sea immediately. Karen ain't doing it. I got to sit here, heard what you said, pout my lip, side eye you, cross eye, all of that. And then I'm going to think about what you said and try to figure out, can I do it? Do I want to do it? Does the Holy Spirit sanction me to do it? And then eventually it's going to get done. But I'm going a long way. So if you looking for fast, you going to with me. But we normally, and that's the one thing that we say, we normally get to the same destination. The way that we get there, way different. Because this man is we talked about it. He heard a decision. I promise you that wedding planner, I'm never doing that again. So he got worried about none of that. I'm never doing that again, because that was the biggest thing. He was like, well, you said you wanted it, so I did it. I said I was thinking about it, and that's all I got to say. Okay. I was like, if you spend another dime and you don't talk to me, we're going to have like 15,000 problems. Because he was like, well, you did say that you wanted. Okay, y'all know how we do. Oh, look, that's nice. We be playing. So if you know, and I said, Lord, I want a man whose actions match his words. That's what I got. But I didn't read the fine print. You spent another time, and he gave me everything that I thought about. But that was not the process that I was like, that ain't even. I just was saying you and mine. So now I shut up. Oh, okay. Put that. Okay, look at that in the phone.
Karen, think about this, Karen. God's timing is perfect, right? Karen, God's timing is perfect. So just think, if God had sent you your husband 5 years ago, you wouldn't be ready.
I was not ready. And we had that conversation. I was not ready. Number one, because I've been down here in North Carolina 6.5 years, okay, almost 7. I needed that time. I needed to breathe. No children, no grandchildren. Honey, I was traveling back and forth to everywhere. It took a whole pandemic to sit me down. That's all I got to say on that. But I was everywhere. And then I had to learn the value of when to travel, how to stay home, because I didn't know how. I'd be like, well, all right, I'm going. But now he gets, and that was a conversation we had. What you gonna do? You know, because my life be lifing, and it don't ever life in the same zip code all at the same time. So, pew, pew, pew. That's sometimes how it is. And it was a prayer of mine, because I was like, Lord, I don't really know how you gonna do this. And he fine, you know, he missed me and everything. And then that's it. He'll be fine though. And then he says to me, okay, well then I gotta change my lifestyle so that when you go, I'm going with you. All right, then, you know, Jesus listening, right? Okay. He's gonna give you the desire in your heart concerning me, so you keep on talking that talk. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready when I met this man. I honestly could say I don't know if I was fully ready for marriage when I accepted his ring. And that's deep. I was like, I think this is a good idea, but I'm probably going to mess this up. I ain't sure. And then I started praying about that, and having people in my life who were of every station was helpful to me. So I watched the breakups. I watched the divorces. I was, you know, having intimate conversations with people who were saying, Karen, you need to pray and ask God to show you what you need to see before you say I do. And I had the time for it because wasn't nothing a rush. I wasn't pregnant and I ain't dying. So don't be coming over here. Y'all got to get married. I ain't pregnant. I ain't gonna get pregnant. Leave me alone. We chilling. So I don't play for that team. So we good over here. Because that a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't want to get caught up, you know, and Keita, the same thing like you said, you know, in your thing, what people saw. This man did not care nothing about what the pastor said, what the bishop said, what the deacon, he didn't care. He was like, that's my woman. Y'all deal with the rest of it. Y'all gonna be fine. And I had to get there, like, because I was like, oh no, like, you know, church, we can't do that. And then I started worshiping, and somebody said to me, like, Karen, you seem so comfortable, like, saying that's your husband. Because I've been worshiping with this man. I've been praying with this man. We've grown together. So it's like, it wasn't just a one day. And I promise for those who experienced it, it was like, oh wait, we got to get married on Sunday. Honey, we was chilling. We had a whole family weekend. We had a good old time. It was like, oh yeah, we got to get married on Sunday. What we doing here? God knows exactly what you need. And you know, as much as it is encouragement, I still want to be real with people and say it was work. It took a decision for me. And I say to him, I'm of a certain age. Like, we've learned how to love and walk away. I know how to do that. I know how to love and walk away. I had to learn how to love and stay. I had to learn how to make the choice to love him every single day. Even if you getting on my nerves, even if I'm like, you gotta breathe that loud though. Like, do you have to chew like that? You know, the questions, you know, that's all I got.
So thank you so much, ladies, and thank you so much, Audrey, for bringing this conversation to the forefront. We've been wanting to have it for quite some time now, and y'all know each and every one of you picked up a new assignment on this evening, right? You picked up the assignment to be a support to a sister who's preparing to say I do. Because every last one of us bring a great perspective to the marriage situation from experience, not only from just like regular life experience, but from experience of seeking the heart of God concerning what exactly what it is he has for us in our relationship situations. No relationship is perfect. You know, so, I'm gonna let y'all know I'm shady. Okay. I'm mad shady. Y'all know I had the t-shirt on and posted it the other day. So when I see these optic moments where these couples are so full of love and so full of joy, then boom, 2 weeks later, we getting divorced. What's really going on? Some of these things are not real, just like this little raggedy dating list thing that's been going on. Listen, do not let social media get y'all caught up in pursuing something that is not real. Okay, so yeah, I brought up these raggedy lists that's been running around in the webs. Okay, because
I don't know
my soul is tired. You don't know about the list, girl? The list even made some major news stations. What's up, D? I see.
Well, wait, but you gotta understand where it starts from. So homegirl, whether or not this is a skit, the jury is still out, put up a video of a man who took it to the Cheesecake Factory and was like, you gonna take all this to the Cheesecake Factory? I don't do chain restaurants and this, that, and third. Meanwhile, quiet as it's kept, loud as it's kept, most restaurants are chained, but whatever. Yes. So then it became a list of where we don't do first dates. There's only one place on there that for real is a no, and that is your house. We don't do no.
True.
Okay.
That is the true no.
No, we're not gonna do that.
So that's a list.
Yeah.
Oh,
no Cheesecake Factory. No, I don't remember who else was on there. Applebee's.
Chili. What I mean, I'm personally not really going to Chili's either because that's just preference. Red Lobster, which again I'm not going because preference. Church, I said, no, hold on here.
Y'all need, that's the problem. Y'all need more first dates at church, and maybe we can get rid of the list. Like y'all tripping.
Right. Well, coffee shop, Starbucks. I forgot. After that part.
Wait,
like,
I'm gonna give you Pastor Sam's dating list, and then we gonna move on from this. Okay, back before he got married, his dating list was this: you will know in 3 days.
What does Elder Ulysses have to say?
Listen, 3 dates. The first date is coffee because you need to qualify whether you want to spend money on them. So you only get in coffee and maybe a donut. So Dunkin' Donuts, he don't even suggest Starbucks. Dunkin' Donuts, you get a 99-cent or McDonald's, especially he of a certain age, you get free coffee or whatever they do for the seniors over there. Listen, I need you to know I agree. We got our listeners talking about something. Listen, this list is when your priorities are messed up. Daddy said one coffee date, 1 lunch or dinner date. By 3rd date, you should know whether you need to invest time in the ring. So coffee, in his opinion, coffee or breakfast, lunch, and then by the time you have a dinner date, y'all should know whether y'all gonna be married. Now, I'ma say I had to tell him because he was one of those who said I took too long. I said, well, we can't all be like you and see somebody and marry them within 3 to 6 months. That's all we got to say on that because he was married in 6 months, and I was like, and then you still got to take the time to get to know the person, so you not skipping nothing. You either gonna get to know them before you say I do and then continue after, or you not gonna know them until after you say I do. But that's Daddy's dating rule: breakfast, coffee, lunch, and dinner. That's according to him.
But
That's
breakfast of coffee, lunch, and dinner could be over 3 months, right? That could be over.
Not with Daddy. No. We got whole chronicles that I can't talk about no more.
What'd you say, Donnell?
But hold on.
G got something to say, y'all.
Yeah. What time frame was this list created? What year?
For his list?
Yeah. When did he create this list? What year? 2017,
2018.
Now you know he lying. He made that list in 1972.
See, the only thing is that he had been married, so he didn't know nothing about. When I tell y'all, my father was an entire mess out here in these dating streets. He had a picture of him and Joshua when Joshua was a baby. Joshua was 25 or 30. Okay, he wasn't 30 yet, but he was at least 25 when my father pulled. He was like, well, I like that picture. I said, well, you can't get mad at Mary Ann because you saying she don't look nothing like her picture. You was 30 pounds lighter and had hair. What is we doing here? Stop it. So y'all know it was literally Joshua when he was 2 years old in the dating picture. Like, sir, perpetrating a fraud. Get off
perpetrating a fraud.
Look, elder dating list smell like high karate, don't it? It smell like high karate, don't it? His dating list.
Yes.
I could smell it through the screen as you were telling me the rules. I felt an aroma waft through my room here. That list smell like high karate.
I love it. I love it.
Shout out to Elder Ulysses Sims. We love you, Pop. And thank you all for tuning in. We are Unhinged Live. I'm your girl Keita, also known as Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my good girlfriends, the beautiful lady D, Natural D, our in-house self-care strategist, Audrey Dindy Hightower, and of course, you already know Coach Cash herself. Y'all know I'm good with the switch up and how I shout my peoples out. I want to go ahead and acknowledge you, Nadira. We see you getting it in and keeping it litty in the chat. I appreciate your participation on tonight. I'm gonna ask you to be part of our personal street team on tonight, sis. Go on and tell your friends and your mama and your auntie, cousin them about what we got going on over here at the show. because I'm certain you not only continue to glean wisdom every time you tune in, sis, you get your chuck right along with us too. So I see you, sis, and I love you too, girl. We love you here. It's a whole tribe of splash love in your face. So you know, I had a video queued up. And before we get into our coaching session, you know, because I asked, you know, Coach Cash, you know, to switch off her DJ hat, you know, pretty quickly after this video was shared. Our sister Zion fell in my spirit on today, and you know, she doesn't know how often I pray for her. Because listen, she always refers to our platform as coming over and having a nice cool glass of lemonade. She has no idea exactly how much she does that for us as well. Our sister is recovering extremely well from a surgery that she shared with us. And she's also bringing entertainment, tears of joy, as she's been reconciling and following the map as a participant on Team Red on the show Relative Race. Our sister is multifaceted like Clairol, y'all. Not only is she a dope lyricist, she'll pray you through. Let me talk to you.
Yes.
Be careful with that one there. The anointing is heavy. So, you know, tonight I want to spin a sound, all right, that has everything to do with the conversation that we have tonight. Not only is she a dope lyricist, an artist, she actually published a book that ties into the title of this song. It's actually a marriage manual, a marriage planning manual. It's a journal. It's everything all in one. As she began to share her heart's desire in writing with God, as she's been waiting for her husband to show up, God allowed her to birth this gift to the world. So yeah, I'm talking about the journal. So go on and find her on all of the social media streets. She is Zion Da Voice, ZionDavoice, Zion Da Voice. Tonight, y'all gonna be hearing "Falling for You." Listen closely to the lyrics, ladies and gentlemen, because you can flip it from male to female.
Oh yes.
DJ Cat,
yeah,
take it away.
Here we goes.
Baby, I'm falling. Hey, what's up, love? I know. I told you I would wait for you, right? And well, now that you're here, it seems so surreal. I was just wondering if I could have a moment of your time. I just want to let you know that I appreciate you. Every single thing you do. And I wrote a song about it. I hope that it puts a smile on your face. Well, it's all right with you. Listen.
Now I believe that fairy tales, they come true. The day that I look my eyes on you. I told you before that I wait for you, captured by your mind and your mental. Some say it's complicated, but with you it's simple. They say good things come to those who wait. So I stood strong, you manifested fate. No need to rush, look, we got a lifetime. You always on my mind, praying for you on the daily. Well, I've been on the grind, thinking about you here lately. Just how blessed I am to be a chosen part of your life. Had an icebox where my heart it used to be. Like Monica, you got love all over me. And you, my dear heart, a master key. Us together, it's like look a masterpiece. Christ be the center and look, all my problems cease. I love, look the way that we pray together. And how we intercede for the future, baby. And how we keep Christ first. And even when it hurts, look, we put in the work.
What I love about us is even when it hurts, we still put in the work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I love the way that Christ is always on your mind. How for me, heaven ain't hard to find. It's like you sent an angel packed up in the flesh. I love the way that you handle my heart with finesse. How I know what you're thinking about the way that you stare. How I know by the way that you smile. And how Christ be the center of your thoughts. And even in your text, and I can feel, look, your heart. And even in the way that we miles apart, you be the apple of my eye. the peanut butter to my jam. Two business moguls that just became friends. I love, look, the way that we pray together, and how we intercede for the future, baby, and how we be a tag team. And even when it hurts, look, we put in the work.
We put in the work, even when it hurts. So I just wanted to let you know I appreciate you. And I want you to know that these words are from my heart. I hope it put a smile on your face. I love you.
MJ.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Like that.
We back. We back. That was an entire vibe. An entire vibe.
Good.
Y'all know she over there in the YouTube nation. Go on and subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
She stayed with that heat. So without further delay, y'all already know what it is. Get ready to receive yet another hefty meal, a dose of empowerment, encouragement, and information. Y'all know, get your notebook ready to receive the assignment coming from our in-house master life coach herself, Karen Sims Harrell, because she wifey now, y'all. Go on and take it away, Karen.
All right, we're getting at it. Today it's gonna be a little bit different because we got to get right to it. But y'all know we always come with the title. And today's title is Strip Search. Strip Search. We talked a lot about having moments of reflection for ourselves. And y'all know this segment is called Reflections of Purpose. But a lot of times we don't take the time to really dig into the things about our lives, about our dreams, about the things that we want to do, about what it takes to move from everyday, mundane, regular, operational things. Yeah, we know Sunday we're doing this. We know Fridays we're doing that. We know Monday through Thursday it's these things here. Wednesday, midday service, however your life is set up. But the requirement is during this season, we are in the last quarter of the year, and it's time for that strip search. It's time for us to take the time with ourselves and really dig into some of the things that caused us not to reach our goals this year. Maybe we've got the same goals for the last 3 years because we ain't moved yet. We're not calling you out, but we want to call you up. And that requires for you to strip yourself of the distractions, strip yourself of the boundaries that have not been self-serving, but been self-destructive in your life. When you go through the strip search, why do they do it? Because they said you've got something that may harm the people around you. So we need to make sure all the way to the bottom that we take that thing from you. Now imagine that when you go to the airport and the TSA folks is acting up and they doing all of that. Nobody ain't got time for that. But right here in your house with you watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on these social media streets to remind you, go ahead and perform that strip search with the things that you're thinking. How are the things that you're watching affecting the decisions that you're making? How are the actions that you're taking affecting the dollars and the coins that seem to dribble out from your finger? You made some goals, whether it's buying a house, whether it's paying for an investment or a property that you're thinking about, whether it's for you to invest in that project. You know, we just shouted out our sister Zion, The Voice. We love the work that she's doing, but a lot of this stuff is her building kingdom by herself. Two moguls, she said, coming together. I love that line. I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I love the line. But it requires first that strip search. So go ahead and examine yourself. Examine yourself. Listen, it's biblical in that too. See what things are hindering you. Why? Because y'all know, as always, I remind you, I'm here for the cake. But unless you do that strip search and find out what are the things that are in your way, I can't have my cake. And doggone it, That is the ultimate goal in all of this. We're reminding you today, don't just do the strip search, but do the work once you've identified the obstacles and the things that are in your way. We're here to be accountability partners with you. We want to come alongside you. If you feel like you can't do it by yourself, or you know the things and don't know how to point yourself to the professionals to get you to the finish line so that you can complete this year's goals to get you on to the next bigger and better thing. Listen, it's levels to this, and we want to get you past this current level so that you can go higher and higher and continuing to build yourself up. Why? Because we love y'all. We're here to celebrate you all the way. Strip search. There you go. That's your reflection.
Strip search, but not on air because we live, y'all. We're gonna do that after we get off the air, okay? Listen, girl, listen, we had a Curl Queen session on tonight. So again, thank you, Audrey, for being the catalyst this evening for such a great conversation. I'm absolutely certain that anyone who hears this is going to walk away blessed and encouraged. So as we prepare to go ahead and end tonight's show, does anyone have any last words? Going once? Going twice. All right, I'm about to hit y'all with that outro. You know, it's a little bit famous at this point. I'm going to encourage you all to just be. And tonight, with so much conversation, and after even listening to my own voice, I got to encourage you all to just be willing to grow. Because ultimately, you can only go as far as you are willing to grow. So yeah, just be willing to grow. It's your girl Tilted Halo, Coach Cash, Audrey Dindy Hightower, and the beautiful Natural D. We are Unhinged Live. Until next time, blessings on blessings, blessings on blessings. We are out. Later, y'all. Peace. I got 2 buttons.